Hey, we're here at Riverstone Church. We just finished an acoustic panel install. I want to share with you 5 different ways that you can use acoustic treatment to improve your spaces in your church. Obviously, right now, we are in the sanctuary. That's a pretty obvious one. Before, this space only had a few acoustic panels up, and it was just a panel along the top row, but there were walls everywhere that were just drywall, and also the ceiling was just flat drywall. So we made a huge improvement in being able to put panels up in this space. Some unique things about this space is this is a gym sometimes. Kids are throwing balls. So we have the Hercules panels from Primacoustic, so these are impact resistant. So the ball hits this, it's not going to do as much damage as the regular Broadway panels, which we used in a few different spaces. Some other things that we did in this room were cloud panels. So we put all of these cloud panels in the ceiling to stop reflections from floor to ceiling. So reflections happen when there are 2 flat spaces, sound hits and bounces between them. So we've got the walls covered and we've got the ceiling to the floor covered.
You do not want it completely dead like you're a soundstage studio environment, because that takes all of the life out of the room. You want a little bit of life in it. So this room beforehand, when you clapped your hands, it was closer to like 4 or 5 seconds of reverb time. Now I'd say it's just over 2 seconds. There are still opportunities where you could add additional absorption to the space, but I think this is great for a church environment, for congregational worship. You want people to hear each other singing and feel that energy in the room.
The second way that you can improve your space with acoustic treatment would be a lobby. Most people don't think about this space, but when you're walking in to this space and it's before or after church and you're wanting to congregate and have conversation with each other, a lot of lobbies can be really loud. And another thing with this specific lobby, and probably your church as well, is there's just a door between this lobby space and the worship center. So if there's something going on where you need to walk out of the room and have a conversation with someone, you don't want to interrupt the service. But also just being able to have conversations and fellowship before and after services. It's a really important space to treat. Between these 2 bathrooms, we have our slat wall, which kind of fits what they already had in this space. They already had some slat wall that wasn't treated. So you know, this is more like diffusion at this point because there's no treatment behind it, but it just kind of fit the aesthetic that they were going for, so we were able to use that and make it look really great. We also have clouds in this space, so we have the same clouds as in the other space. These are just fit tighter to the ceiling. This space is where someone is going to do a welcome. You know, we have a welcome center. So if you're new or if you want to sign up for something, you're going to be sitting at this desk and having a conversation with someone across from the desk. And so the person here will be able to more clearly have a conversation with someone across the desk because we have acoustic treatment on this wall behind the TV here.
Funny story, I didn't even know we had Ecoscapes right there until you started talking about it right now. And I was here all day. You guys got, of course, you've been working here all week, but that's what's cool about those Ecoscapes is they really do blend in. It almost looks like a normal, just drywall surface. The third way acoustic treatment can benefit the audio at your church is in spaces like this cafe. A lot of churches have cafe spaces or maybe like a church library, and it's really great to add some absorption to the room. So in this cafe, we have, again, the Ecoscapes. This is the oak color, the darker color. We also have the lighter pine color. You'll see in our next space. And then we also have a few cloud panels within this cafe space. So when people start talking to one another, you probably experienced it before in other cafes and restaurants where it just gets super loud and everybody just starts yelling and yelling. It's not a good experience. So it's really good to think about not just the corporate experience in the worship center, but all of these little gatherings that are happening around the church. How can you make people have just less listening fatigue and speaking fatigue in these places as they're hanging out with one another?
All right, the fourth way that you can use acoustic treatment to make improvements to your space is like a production room. So this is the space where people are mixing audio for the online service. It's also where video is being edited for the online service. So it's a really important space to treat because the person that's mixing the audio for the online service wants to do that in an accurate space. So you really could think of this as a studio. So whenever you have a studio, you want to make sure it's acoustically treated so that you can more accurately mix. And I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. We have 6 of our Broadway panels with the linen cover. So we butted these together to make a wall specifically behind the person mixing audio. So as we thought through the best layout for the room, we thought that the person that's going to be mixing audio was going to be in this space. So I thought about the speakers are pointing this way behind them, so it's going to reduce reflections off of the back wall behind them. We also have a panel right here, so it's going to reduce reflections off of that wall. And then we have a wall to the side here. And then behind here, we have more of our slat wall. This is the pine color, and this was actually just extra. It wasn't planned for, but once we started finishing this space, I thought aesthetically it would kind of fit the rest of what they have going on. And I just think it looks really awesome. So I'm just super happy with how this turned out, putting this behind here. I think it's gonna make this mixing experience a lot better.
All right, the 5th way acoustic treatment can benefit your church is for meeting rooms like this, or maybe office spaces. So you can actually see they're doing a Friendsgiving event in here. We got a bunch of rowdy young adults in here, and they're all chatting and stuff. But what's great is there's not a ton of reverb in this room anymore. So in this space, we have the wall panels. These are the Broadway 2 foot by 4 foot, 2 inch thick wall panels. We also have a few cloud panels up on the ceiling there. Those are the Nimbus or the Altos cloud panels by Primacoustic. And then if you come over here, this is pretty cool because we have the white ecoscape on this entire wall. So it's actually treating the wall with absorption, and then it's also a reflective surface for the projection screen. And then below that, we have the slat wall ecoscape. This is the pine, the lighter color. Looks cool, looks modern, looks hip for all the young adults who want to come in and enjoy the space. So don't neglect all of the other meeting rooms and office spaces at your church, because again, it can really reduce people's fatigue as they're speaking and listening to one another.
If you want to help us install acoustic panels, rig up speakers, put lighting stuff in, just help do integration, that is an option. We would love for you to do that. So you can you can go to the link in the description and fill out a form. But if you are a church that is interested in purchasing equipment like these acoustic panels, you definitely can install them yourselves. So if you choose to purchase these through us, we would support you and make sure that you had everything that you need to install them yourselves. And I think that many people are really capable of doing that. If you're interested in hiring us like Riverstone did, that's an option as well. Thank you for watching. Let us know if you have any questions about acoustic treatment in the comments, and we'll see you next time.